Travel back in time with a trip inside the Iowa's News Now vault.
Say, as George Bernard Shaw once said, some people see things as they are and say why. I dream things that never were and say why not.
This is how most of us knew Robert Kennedy, from news clips on television. And this is how Cedar Rapids photographer George Henry knew the president's younger brother until 1965, when George and RFK met up on the Yampa River in Colorado. Some background. Every summer since 1955, George Henry has left Iowa for 2 months to be a whitewater river tour guide at Hatch River Expeditions based at Vernal, Utah. One group included Robert and Ethel Kennedy, singer Andy Williams, humorist Art Buchwald, and writer George Plimpton.
They really enjoyed getting away from the city slicker life, so to speak. They did everything that you and I would do and enjoyed it.
In all, George took RFK on 3 such river trips, including the Middle Fork of the Salmon River in Idaho and the first half of the Colorado River in the Grand Canyon.
I do remember one time when we were on the Colorado going down Grand Canyon where Bob all of a sudden without warning said, "I'm going to ride these rapids on an air mattress," and it just so happened that he had picked a spot where we had 3 big rapids in succession, and we weren't even ready to hit the river, and he took off on his air mattress, and it took us about 5 miles to catch him. And at that time, he had his fill of air mattress riding because of the number of rapids and so forth.
Senator Robert Kennedy made one trip to Cedar Rapids, coming to a Marion rally in October of 1966 in support of Iowa candidates. George snapped some shots of RFK here.
As I came, I just wanted to place myself someplace where I could say hi to him, which I was able to do, and said hi. And actually, right in the middle of a campaign heading for the platform and so forth, we stopped and did have a real nice chat, maybe of 30 seconds to a minute, of which we did get to discuss a little bit about the river and whatever.
By this time, George says he considered himself and Bobby friends. A handwritten note from RFK bears this out. He says, "The photos are marvelous. You have great talents in many fields. We look forward to being with you next year." Well, the summer of '67 turned out to be RFK's last and marked one last river trip. George, who shot this picture?
Oh, at the time, Ethel just happened to be going by, and Bob said, "Hey, I'd like a picture with my friend George." And so Ethel said, "I know all about cameras." She grabbed the camera and started taking the picture, and I had no idea where it was set or anything. I'm glad it turned out.
However, it's a photo George isn't in that's his favorite of RFK.
When Bob was on the Middle Fork of the Salmon, and he was just lying on the ground playing with one of his daughters, and that was not a foolish shot at all. It was just something that they were doing.
Do you think America missed out by not having him as president?
I feel certain that they missed out on something, whether he was president or just a part of the American scene. I think he was a great man, would have done a great deal for the country. He was well liked, well thought of, and he was, in my estimation, probably the smartest of the Kennedy clan.
Cedar Rapids photographer George Henry commenting on his friend, the late Robert F. Kennedy. I'm Kerry J. Hahn, the Iowa Traveler.